Hello everybody, it's your girl Saitoma here, back with another video. Now this video is about JPA, juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma. Now this is the brain tumor that I have or is currently fighting to keep away. And so this is the shirt that I made a while ago, which is a painting of me with a tiara and then the eye and the nose highlighted gold, and it's because that I've lost my vision in my eye, and I've also lost sense of smell in my nose and the same side of my nose. Now today we're going to read some interesting facts about juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma, or JPA, and we are getting our information from braintumor.california. I'm going to the Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada, and this section is of California. I guess it's Canada? Shit, we're getting it from Canada. Okay, so juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma, or JPA. The overview of it is just going to be like a quick information about it. Then we're going to go in like the description and definitions of everything. So this tumor is, is about 0.337%, which is about 100,000 persons per year. So 100,000 people per year can get this tumor, which is about like 7.4 billion people in the world. Now think how many people has JPA. And this is also the sweater I got from Children's Hospital, which I attend. Children's Hospital of California, which is now UCF Benioff Children's Hospital. And I have a cat who's across the table, so if you see me looking away, I'm looking at my cat. She's a busybody. So the pilocytic astrocytomas are typically seen in children and young adults. And me, I was diagnosed at about 8 months or 8 weeks old. Relatively, less than a year old. And they occur in all ages, children's, teens, but the median age for juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma is 5 to 14 years old. That's when it's most common, but that's not when the only time you can get it or be diagnosed with it. This tumor is unusual in infants and very rare in adults. Now see, I am the unusual type because I got it when I was an infant. That is not a good thing, but that was just a description. So I'm going to talk about the description of the tumor, and you may think, well, this is boring, I don't want to read this, I don't want to listen to this, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to, but this is just a quick little video about people who want to know about JPA. So I am actually a survivor myself, which I've said numerous times. You're probably like, blah, 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 stop saying that. But if most people are wondering, like, why are you talking about this? Because I want to give more information about it, because as a child, I did not know about it. And when I asked other people, they got tired of me asking, because I asked lots of times, because I had to go to the hospital, like, I want to say almost every day for 2 to 3 years just to make sure that the tumor was gone. So JPA, also known as pilocytic astrocytoma, which is the J is juvenile, which is young children. These tumors grow in the cerebrum optic nerve pathway, brainstem, cerebrum, so that's in your eye, and that's where mine was, behind my left eye. They are slow growing and most common subtype low-grade gliomas, which is most likely that they're not at risk for killing you right away, but it can kill you over time if not treated. So in children, they are very common in the cerebellum. I guess I was pronouncing that wrong. And may lead to raised intracranial pressure. Pathologically, they have relatively well-defined borders, and Rosenthal fibers are seen under the microscope. These types of astrocytomas typically stay in the area where they are started and do not spread, which means they are benign. And now see, benign and malignant are two different things. Malignant means they move and spread. Benign means they stay in that spot and just grow in that one spot. They are considered the most non-malignant in astrocytomas, which is, I would say, relatively a good thing. Your tumor isn't malignant if you have this. So, yeah. So, here are the list of symptoms. Now, don't be those type of people who self-diagnose when you hear information offline, always go to a doctor and make sure that your doctor has diagnosed you with this, because this is a cancer. This is very serious. And if you have it and you're avoiding it, make sure you just go. Me, I have been avoiding it for the past 3 years because I have a lot of traumatizing problems and things that has been getting in the way of me going. But I am going back, and I'm not letting that stop me, and I'm not letting that take me down. So, go if you're avoiding it. So, some of the symptoms, and this depends on the location of where your tumor is placed. So, changes behavior, headaches and vomiting due to the raised intracranial pressure. You know, I guess that's self-explanatory. So if you don't know what that means, the headaches and vomiting raising the pressure because it's on top of your brain, a part of your brain. So when it grows, it's putting pressure in your head, because your head only has enough room for your brain. Anything else, it's going to cause a problem. So look in these in people or children, adolescents who might be at risk of it. So lacking coordination or loss of balance due to cerebellar movement, which means that you'll be very clumsy and always fall. So I'm that's this girl right here, just clumsy as fuck. So you can also have memory loss, seizures, and a bunch of other things. So the treatment, so there are treatments for this, which is surgery, usually the most important treatment, though surgery ranges from where it is placed and how it has grown. So most surgeries, you cannot really define what the person is going through unless, again, you're diagnosed by a doctor. But if you want to know more about the surgery, surgery is usually the most important treatment for the type of JPA. Complete surgical removal of this is generally possible for JPAs arising in the cerebellum, and then no further treatment is necessary. So if you don't know kind of what that means, is that surgery, you can get it removed, and most likely once you get it removed, that's the rest of the treatment, and then you just go back in and get it checked in, because you're just going in and they're taking it out because it is not malignant. It is benign and it stays in that one spot. So, if the total removal is not possible, chemotherapy is often used to shrink these type of tumors, which I had to do. Sometimes the surgery is possible, and sometimes the tumor will not progress further after chemotherapy. And sometimes it can. Just depends. And you know why? My last video, certain things expose you to cancer. Radiation, foods, bottles, cell phones, microwaves, everything. So, occasionally radiation therapy is necessary. For example, the tumor has grown into the brainstem, or has grown in certain places. Mine is grown over my optical cord, and so it messed with my vision. So if you're like, what the fuck is up with her eye? I had cancer and it fucked up my eye. You want to know anything else? Comment below. So the role of chemotherapy is changing in the JPA treatment over time. You know, treatment over cancer is going to change over time. Some responses has now been found with the chemotherapeutic agents, right? I'm going to give you a list of references about where you can read this information from, and it goes back a very long time. So this is just one little article about it. And again, this is from Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada. If you're wondering it's from Canada, does this really portraying to the US? Yes. All it just means is this article is from a Canadian and not an American, but it's still the same thing, and it still applies to everybody. So I can read the prognosis. Most people don't really read the prognosis because